I'm making a follow-up video to my how to bank video because people had a lot of questions about the banking system that world champion 9-ball player Mika Immonen taught me. You guys had a lot of questions, a lot of very important questions. If you haven't watched the original video, I highly recommend you watch that video first before you jump into this one, because I'm going to go over examples and I'm going to already assume you know the basics of counting. And if you don't know how the counting works and what we're even doing, this video may get just a little bit confusing. How does the system work for shots that aren't lined up? In my first video, I gave a lot of examples where the bank was already lined up as a straight shot. I did this for 4 reasons. The first is so that way you didn't have to worry about aiming and you could just do a straight shot and gain your trust in the system. The second is so that way you had a feel for the speed to make these banks consistently, which is the speed of a stop shot. The third is so that way you could see if there's any unintended spin on the ball, because that does affect the bank line. And fourth, and most importantly, I did it because it was easier for me. Where the cue ball is for this banking system isn't 100% important. If they're lined up on the line, that's great, you have a straight bank. However, it works for basically any cut. The only thing is if you're doing a reverse cut bank, you have to add something a little bit extra, but I go over that in the original video, so if you haven't watched that, go watch that video so you can learn how to bank. But let's count out this bank since we're going to be cutting it, since they're not lined up. So in this example, we're going to bank into this pocket. So first we have to count the rail that we're going to be banking off of. We jump across to the opposite pocket. This is 0, and then we count by tens. This is 10, 20, this is 30. We then have to count from where we're banking from. So we're going to be banking into this pocket. This starts at 0. This is 0. This is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Now, what you want to do, what I do, is I basically put a line through the 5-ball, and I make the 5-ball a pivot point. And I just rotate around this line until I find where the numbers match to get me to bank into this pocket. So here, I'm just going to start straight. The numbers aren't lined up. I rotate, rotate, rotate. Here we have 10, and this is 10 because this is 8 and this is 12. 10 is right in the middle. So all I have to do is cut this ball. I have to aim for the 5-ball to go down this line, and it'll bank into the side pocket. Absolute money. Absolute money. So that 5-ball example was lined up pretty nicely with 10-10. Let's just put the 3-ball in a random spot, let's say there, and let's just put the cue ball here in another random spot. So that way we have to cut it, because if we bank this straight on, it's not going to go. Now the numbers, we already have them counted on the table. All we have to do is draw a line through the 3-ball and rotate, or put a pivot point where the 3-ball is, rotate the line around that pivot point until we find a spot where the numbers match. So here we're at 15, and I would say this is about 15 as well. We then should just be able to aim to cut this 3-ball down this line, and it should go into the side pocket. Let's see if it works here. This system works. Now let's put the object ball in a random spot, let's say there. And then let's put the cue ball in a random spot, let's say here. And we want to bank into this corner pocket. We're not going to count again. Bam! There's the numbers. All right, remember, all we got to do is find a spot that this object ball can travel down where the two numbers match. So if we draw a line through it and we pivot around the object ball, we rotate and we rotate. Here, let's see, this is 12 to 15. We didn't rotate quite far enough. So let's see if we can keep going. What do we have here? This is about, I would say this is about 14 to 14. Those two numbers match. We then just have to cut the 1-ball down this line, and it should bank into the corner pocket. Let's cut this out. There you go, it works. Full table banks. In the previous video, I said that this banking system even works on full table banks where you're banking off the short rail on the full length of the table down into this pocket. And I only counted half of the system, and now I actually want to show you the full counting because I feel bad that I left that out. My mistake. Remember that if we're banking into this pocket, we want to jump across to the opposite pocket to count the rail that we're banking off of. This is 0. We count by tens, 10, 20, 30. That pocket's 40. We then have to count to find the numbers of where we're banking from. This is 0. We count by 4s, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Just like in the other system, at 20, things change. But when you're banking full table, it changes differently. Before, when you're counting to bank off the long rail, it jumps to 5s. Here, it jumps to 2s, much smaller number. So this is 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. Here, just for ease of example, I'm just having these lined up here to show you that the system does work and the line works, but I already showed you that the cuts work. It works the exact same way on this one. But here we have 22. There we're at 22. We just do a stop shot on this 15 ball. These are a little bit finicky because of the length. The rail really does change things and the spin is affected. We do a stop shot. That bank got sank. Here the 14 ball, we have 24 to 24, just to the left of the center between those two diamonds. Hit a stop shot. Bangarang, Rufio.
Bangarang, Rufio.
God, am I Joey D now?
Watch your head.
He's gonna hit his head.
Watch your head.
No.
Here we're at 26, 26, just to the right of the center between those two diamonds. Again, little stop shot. More reliable than Wall Street bets. And now 28, 28. Now that's what I call getting your cash back. 2%, 5% cash back. And this is 30, 30. We're on the line. We just do a stop shot, $30 loan, $30 deposit.
Hey, are things okay if you need a $30 loan?
You know, things will be fine if you like and subscribe. What if I'm in a country that has pool tables without diamonds? Live in a better country. But in all seriousness, you can just imagine the diamonds. We're already imagining the numbers when it's like at 15 between the two diamonds. I have faith in you that you have the ability to split the rail in half and say this is the midpoint, split that in half again, this is a quarter, this is 3/4. From there, you just count those quarter points as 10, 20, 30, and you count this side by 4, 8, 12, 16. Do I have to do everything for you? Gosh. How to practice. I get it, numbers can be scary. The system can get a little bit confusing because it's moving around the table. You don't know where it's going, especially when you're in a high pressure match and you're thinking about numbers and diamonds. It can get daunting. So to practice, what I recommend doing and what I did is I would just put a ball on the table, try and count it out, and put the cue ball lined up straight. So that way it's a straight bank, so you don't have to worry about aiming, and just see if it goes in. Move the object ball around. And you know what? Do me a favor. In the comments below, let me know if I want to bank this 8 ball into this pocket, what line do I have to bank down? Where do the numbers match? Let me know in the comments below. All right, short and sweet, that's it. I just wanted to answer those questions that you had about this banking system, so that way you had confidence to use it in your pool game as well. Take what I've said about this banking system and apply it on the pool table yourself. Practice it, see if you can get it to work for you, because this system works for me, it works for world champion 9-ball player Mika Immonen, and it can work for you. Just take it to the table and practice yourself. Like, comment, subscribe, keep taking your hobbies too seriously.